we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
On 94.3 DD1, One World, your station. Love that I do get to meet as well as talk to people from so many different backgrounds. Today is, of course, the background that we usually are speaking to on radio, and that part of the industry of entertainment that we all simply have fallen so much in love with over decades, probably close to a century now is what I'd like to call it. It just feels like it's been such a long time, and yet such little work has been done, and there's so much more that we can do. I'm speaking about films, of course, and this one is a beautiful film with such a lovely message that it gives. A short film by a filmmaker, Chintan Sarda. The name of the film is The Broken Table. Chintan, it's so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Annie. So nice to be here.
Chintan, the film The Broken Table is dealing with, or rather talking about, Alzheimer's also, which is a rising concern for senior citizens. But I love the way you blended it with another story of a young person going through the trouble of, becoming a parent. Well, I don't want to disclose much, but the weaving of both these stories together. So you're trying to raise awareness, but at the same time, you're not just doing it for one or one particular community of people. You're doing it for another community of people also. And that's beautifully said. When did you come up with an idea like that?
So it all started when this writer friend of mine, Ruchira, she told me about this case that she had heard about, which was an Alzheimer's patient who on a daily basis would forget that his wife has passed away.
Right.
And he would go through that pain, like it's a fresh pain every day.
Right.
That was so heartbreaking. That was just so, it was the biggest tragedy one could really imagine. And so that became the seed of the whole idea. But the thing is, in the story, you need an arc. You need some sort of transformation, you need some sort of journey.
Yeah.
But with an Alzheimer's patient, he would kind of reset every 10-15 minutes. He's going to forget everything that happened.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to have an arc with a character like that. So that's why we kind of figured, so me and my co-writer Vikram, we figured that we needed that character to be a catalyst of sorts in someone else's journey. So his cannot be the A story. He'll have to be a catalyst. So that's why we kind of came up with Dipti, and Dipti was going through her own conflict and her own journey, and how Giri, played by Naseeruddin Shah, affects her life, and her belief system. So that's how kind of things were weaved around based on that germ.
Wow, you know what? When you have a thought like this, it's very difficult to bring it on the screen. Because it is one of the issues that is rising at an alarming rate in our country and across the world, especially our country. But it's also something that people usually want to steer clear of or just stay away from. Some reason, some sort of conditioning we have that if we talk about it, we probably don't know how to handle it. But I think you've handled it. You did just that so beautifully through the story. And performances, I have to talk about it when I come back on the other side. Don't go anywhere. This is Chintan Sarda, the filmmaker, and his short film about Alzheimer's is out. In the lead, we have Naseeruddin Shah and acclaimed actress Rasika Dugal.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
I'm in conversation with filmmaker Chintan Sarda, who's out with a short film which is based on Alzheimer's. At least that is being brought out in a very, very beautiful way, blended with, of course, another story, the film called The Broken Table. Chintan, tell me about the release of the film. I believe it is already out.
Yeah, it's already released on the Large Short Films YouTube channel on 15th Feb. It's already got some 4.6 million views. We're really excited about that.
The fact that you have such a beautiful story to tell, or rather beautiful yet very difficult story to tell, and you need to build awareness about this issue in a way that is not only welcoming but also warm, so people don't necessarily feel completely disheartened by the fact that okay, we are looking at something like this and it could happen to anyone and everyone. I guess a story like this helps people become better prepared to handle a situation like this. So that is the kind of treatment you've given to the film. So it looks very mainstream, very commercial, but yet it is putting out such a beautiful and painful thought, but in such a nice fashion, a fashion that people can actually digest it in. And with performances like that of Naseeruddin and Rasika, it just is icing on the cake. How did you zero in on these two?
Well, that was a dream cast. I mean, when we were writing it, we kind of thought that this would be the ideal, actors to really play these characters. We weren't sure if you would get them, but that was the thought. And so I had known Rasika for some time. I had we were promoting our previous films together, and we had met once or twice. We had met at a film festival to start with, and I really loved her work in Kissa. So that we'd already explored that. Oh, let's work together at some point. We didn't know what that project was going to be. So when this script kind of was happening, I approached her, and she loved it. She was on board immediately, and in fact, she helped me get through Naseer Saab. He was her teacher at the Film Institute, so that's how it actually happened.
Mr. Shah, Naseeruddin ji, oh my God, that man can get into the skin of any character and make it so convincing. How was it directing him?
I mean, he's a legend, obviously. It was quite intimidating to start with because he's been a hero of mine. And, I mean, I've grown up watching his work, and it's been one of the reasons I wanted to be a filmmaker. So it was quite a bucket list item for me to work with him, to direct him was, like a dream. So when he said yes, it was pretty unreal. It was pretty unreal that, my name will be said in the same breath as him for when we talk about the film, which was just something pretty unreal for me. And but then I started watching him work, up close. That was such a learning experience, to just see his process, to see how he really works on the character and his insights into things and life. Fortunately or unfortunately, the film kind of kept getting delayed because of date issues, and then pandemic happened. So we kind of did readings and rehearsals over a year and a half for this film.
Wow, okay.
In spite of it being a short film, so which was it was very frustrating because we couldn't shoot it, but it was also really value adding for me because just to be in the same room with these guys and just talking about films and cinema and these characters. It was something else. I will never, I would not give that away for anything else.
I'd love to know, since you had such a long association with him before the film finally released, before it was finally made, if he had his ideas and thoughts that he kept giving you. Don't go anywhere. It is Chintan Sarda on the show with me today, and his new short film, The Broken Table, is available for you to watch on YouTube. You must watch it. Lead actors, we have actor Naseeruddin Shah and Rasika Dugal. Stay tuned. This is Afternoons with Annie.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
I'm in conversation with Chintan Sarda, the filmmaker, whose short film The Broken Table has released. It released on the 15th of February. It's available on YouTube and you must watch. It is actually touching upon the rising concern among senior citizens nowadays, which is Alzheimer's. But the way it is presented to you, blending it with yet another story, a telling story of a youngster who's also a caregiver and a psychologist, played by Rasika Dugal. That's what you've got to really watch, how these two stories come together and how, like Chintan rightly pointed out, that Naseeruddin ji is playing the catalyst in this film despite having Alzheimer's. In that long association that you have, I must say you are lucky in the first place, Chintan, that there was a deal of some sort. For whatever reason, you got that much time with Naseeruddin ji. So did he have thoughts and ideas to share with you, or is he purely a director's actor where he'll just do what he's asked to do?
No, he is really demanding, because obviously he has a body of work, and obviously he was not doing the short film for anything else, but only because he loved the character and he found the work to be something which was challenging and satisfying for him. So it's he obviously wanted to give his best in spite of it being a really small project. So he expected the same commitment and same level of dedication from everyone around him.
Oh, sure.
So he would question everything, and till the day of the shoot. And that was the best thing because that made me question a lot of things which I had sometimes been biased towards. And we relooked at a lot of things because of something which he brought up. There's something which I could convince him about, and that gave me a high like no other. That something which I disagreed with him on, and then I was able to tell him that this is a better route to take because of ABC, and he was like what, you're right. So that was like, oh, Naseer Saab is actually thinking that what I said is right. That was like at a very initial stage. It was like, wait, I think I'm doing something right in my life. So that was,
that's how the validation gives you a big high coming from a person of his stature, huh?
It does. It really does.
Nice. That is so cool. I would like you to now share about the message of this film, which again we will talk about when we're coming back on the other side. Don't go anywhere. I'm loving this conversation I'm having with Chintan Sarda, who's a filmmaker out with his short film. The film has released on the 15th of February on YouTube. It's called The Broken Table. Do check it out.
Here we go now. Get set.
Afternoons with Annie.
94.3 Radio 1.
I'm in a chat with Chintan Sarda. He's a filmmaker and he's out with his new short film. It's called The Broken Table. What is the message that you personally wanted to get to the people through this film?
So see, to be honest, I don't start with thinking what the message I want to give, because I don't think films are meant to be, PSAs. They are meant to be stories, and
Right.
and stories would move you. Stories would sometimes give an insight in life, and
Okay.
sometimes it may not also, which is fine.
Sure.
It really depends on the subject and what it's trying to do. So I didn't start off with a message which I wanted to give. I started off with the character which I found really engaging, and the journey that character was going through, and that eventually led to something which the other character was learning through that
Correct.
experience.
Correct.
So that learning came out of just that character journey. When we just followed the character, we realized what the character needed and what was the conflict in her life and why she was kind of not going to the next stage from that threshold. So all those things organically led to something, and I don't reveal too much because that will give away the end. But we wanted to, but we wanted to talk about embracing imperfections. We wanted to talk about acceptance. So thematically, we were trying to deal with those issues.
Since I've watched it, I can say that it has come out extremely well, and it is definitely going to strike a chord with as many more millions that are waiting to watch this. So don't forget to watch it. In fact, just go watch it right away. It's a very short film, 24 and a half minutes, I believe, right?
23 minutes 52 seconds.
Okay, then. 23 minutes, 52 seconds is what this film is about. That's how long this film is, and that's all you need to take home. Forget the message, like Chintan says, but it's going to be a wonderful experience just watching this film. Thank you so much, Chintan, for talking to me.
Thank you, Annie. It was really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much to you and your entire team for even coming up with such a concept, a thought, as well as a story.
Thank you. I'll convey the thoughts to them.
Yes, and looking forward to many more projects coming from you, Chintan.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Well, that is the end of my show. Don't forget to check out the film The Broken Table, by the way. And I'm leaving you with Hot in It from Drive the Album, Tiesto and Charlie XCX. Kind of setting you up for the weekend, right? Because the weekend pretty much begins on Thursdays. Right here on Afternoons with Annie. Okay, I'll catch you tomorrow 12 noon. It is Afternoons with Annie, the show on 94.3 Radio 1. Till then, stay safe, stay green, stay loved.